Active Tameside aspires to be a bigger part of the answer when the question pertains to health inequalities. During the pandemic, health inequalities have grown, so now, more than ever, we need to redouble our efforts as part of a whole system approach to tackle the immoralities of geographic and demographic life chance variations. I'll now hand over to our Chief Executive, Chris Rushton, who will expand on our credentials as a life-enhancing social enterprise.
In concluding last year's annual report, I made it clear that the pandemic had changed many things, but not our mission, vision, values or ethos. Indeed, as we entered the uncharted waters of 2021, this golden thread of integrity served to guide us through the ongoing impact of constantly evolving challenges. Perhaps the greatest challenge of all was the survival of the business, which is ultimately a function of revenue, expenditure and cash flow. In terms of cash flow, Active Tameside entered the financial year 2020-21 with no reserves, which meant that without immediate intervention, collapse was no more than 6 weeks away. However, not only did we remain in business during the course of the year, we once again achieved budget. The judicious use of the furlough scheme, prudential borrowing relief from the council, NLRF monies from government and a significant insurance payout meant that almost without precedent within the sector, Active Tameside received no new monies from its primary stakeholder. Further, and in support of the council, huge swathes of the business remained open during the various manifestations of lockdown in order to support the most vulnerable within the community. Christmas 2020 was a harbinger for what would follow in 2021 in the form of the Great Active Takeaway. Dozens of Active Tameside colleagues chose to volunteer for the preparation and delivery of 1,000 hot meals for those in need across the borough. It's worth noting that the food itself was either grown in Active Tameside's allotment, donated or provided by Fair Share. The initiative was effectively a forerunner of what became known as the Fuel for Fun programme, the Tameside brand of the government's holiday activity and food programme, so closely associated with Marcus Rashford, MBE. To date, Fuel for Fun has supported some 8,000 eligible families. During the course of the financial year, Active Tameside lost over £7 million of trading revenues as a consequence of outright closure or COVID-secure protocols which significantly reduced capacities across the estate. However, with a view to the post-pandemic recovery imperative, high levels of customer intimacy were maintained by the use of technology in particular. The Active Tameside app grew from strength to strength and has now been downloaded by some 30,000 people, making it a hugely powerful interactive booking and communications platform. Nevertheless, as step 2 of the lockdown roadmap commenced on April 12th, health and fitness membership numbers were down by 24%, swimming lessons by 26% and gymnastics by an eye-watering 52%. By October, the last vestiges of COVID-secure protocols had given way to pre-COVID normality with particular regard to bookings. Moreover, fitness membership levels were within 6% of their peak, whilst yields had reached new highs despite a freeze on membership fees with the exception of active iTrain. Swimming lesson numbers had surpassed pre-pandemic levels due in part to additional capacity at the Active Hyde extension, which was launched successfully in July. The extension was launched with most COVID-secure protocols still in place, though it was certainly the case that these protocols ensured high levels of customer confidence, the corollary of which is low levels of anxiety within the context of the pandemic. The gymnastics recovery curve was somewhat flatter, partly as a consequence of the retention of some niche COVID-secure protocols which continue to limit capacity. Tenpin Bowling at the Wellness Centre, our fourth key revenue stream, was also badly affected by the various manifestations of lockdown, but it's been resurgent over the summer months. It really is an exceptional product. We'll soon be launching the revolutionary Active Choice Card, and this will make all of our attractions and associated cafe offerings in particular much more accessible. At the heart of our COVID planning was the safety and well-being of staff and customers alike, and the associated metrics of engagement and Net Promoter Score respectively. It was heartening, therefore, that staff engagement as measured by the annual independent We Thrive survey showed improvement in each of the 16 measured parameters, as well as overall engagement at 74%, an improvement of 4% despite the impact of the pandemic on mental health in particular. Further, at one point, the overall Net Promoter Score reached 70 from a pre-pandemic high of 53, in itself considerably above the sector average. There can be no doubt that the combination of a highly engaged workforce and unprecedented levels of customer advocacy has underpinned a remarkable recovery in key revenue streams. These key revenue streams are fundamental to the ongoing viability of Active Tameside and ensure that the health inequality agenda in all its facets can be embraced and addressed with vigour and innovation in equal measure.
At the beginning of this year, we were awarded just over 1.1 million for us to deliver across Tameside a holiday activity and food project. And this is funded by the DFE, the Department for Education. And that helped us then to sort of work in partnership with Active Tameside to deliver a project to reach 9,000 children who are eligible for free school meals in Tameside.
Past 12 months we've had three key aims for the sports network. The first one is around increasing participation, where we've developed quite a few academies with different clubs which have been really successful. The second one's been around workforce. What we've done is we've developed over 120 coaches through two ways really. One through national governing body qualifications, and the other one around some mandatory courses, whether it be first aid or safeguarding. The third thing we've looked at with the Tameside Sports Network is the holiday activity and food grant. So what we've done is we've worked with partner clubs across Tameside who are part of the network. We've worked with around about 14 clubs, we've delivered 24 camps, and we've had around about 3,000 attendances, which has been really good. It's levered in funding to Tameside sports clubs, but it's also give children the pathway from the school into a community sports club to make them carry on with activities. It's been really good. We've also worked with 40 partner schools where we've delivered the same model. So basically what's happened is children have had a chance to go and take part in some sport and physical activity, underpinned by some food education at lunchtimes, where the coaches have basically looked and worked with the children in trying to educate them around preparing food, what healthy food is, then giving them some ingredients to take home, do some cooking with the parents.
We're at Active Medlock today, which over the last 12 months has been used as an hybrid in terms of 9 till 3 o'clock every day. It's been used as health and social outcomes in terms of some of the most in need populations, and then from 3 o'clock opening to the general public, and at evenings and weekends in terms of some of the attractions and gym members and basically swimming lessons. The need to keep it as a social care setting during the day has been essential in terms of some of the clients that we work with are the most vulnerable. We've managed to get most of our clients, over 300 clients, back into provision on a day-to-day basis. Community respite support that we deliver at Active Medlock and across the estate has been a real success in terms of making sure that families, we take that pressure off families through obviously the initial lockdown, the second lockdown, and the restrictions that have been in place ever since.
Looking forward, the vicious circle of inflation across the cost base, but particularly in relation to utilities and plummeting levels of disposable income, promise a hugely challenging budget process for 2022-23, which is the penultimate year of Active Tameside's current agreement with the Council. Ultimately, organisations like Active Tameside exist as part of a whole system to address health inequalities which have grown significantly during the course of the pandemic. For this reason, it was hugely gratifying to be awarded the highly prestigious UK Active Diversity and Inclusion Award for the second consecutive year. It truly is an award for all of us, that is to say, staff, customers and key stakeholders alike. In conclusion, it's been a privilege for me to lead this incredible organisation through another hugely challenging year. Sometimes, however, less is more, and in that regard, I simply want to say thank you to all those who played a part in our journey this year.